And sets another day. Billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray. We have no need to compromise. We should keep our eyes on the prize.
That's a good bird.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
We got a visitor today.
We do.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor, but he is a journeyman in chemical engineering, a grandmaster expert witness in opossum studies.
And a fellow craft in awkward public masturbation.
Dr. Doug Herty. Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. Not a doctor. A doctor. A PhD in not being a doctor.
Non-doctoral studies.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got him on the show today. Why don't you say hello to people?
Hello, people.
Waving with his stiff hand.
Oh, okay then.
There it is.
So what's been going on? I think we talked about it a little bit before the show. Was that at least in part the reason that I voted for Trump has started to come to fruition, and that's that he would bring chaos, and the other branches of government would begin stripping the power away from the executive branch. And that's exactly what's begun to happen.
It's exciting.
It is.
Chaos vote.
Mm-hmm. Chaos vote.
He got my vote for the keck.
Yeah. Definitely.
The keck of it all.
Yeah. Proverbial trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos only important.
I mean, he is frog-like, and I don't know, he looks like a toad. So
there's a whole theory behind the fact that Keck chose him because they made the, what's that fucking frog?
Peep the frog?
Pepe, the Donald Trump frog meme.
Yeah.
That was Keck's final sign of approval. Let the chaos ensue, bitches.
But yeah, so we had that happen where you had Trump do a very large blanket ban on people from, 6 countries? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started Now, see, here's the thing. This is where the left kind of fucked up. They, made it look like it was bedlam. You had thousands and thousands of people being held up. As of when the judge lifted the ban temporarily, there was 12 people held up by this.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about thousands of individuals. We're talking about 12 people.
What really grinds my gears is that I read this article yesterday that discussed over the past 4 years how we've been drone bombing the shit out of Syria. And it estimated that we've killed 850 civilians, mostly women and children.
Yeah.
And nobody even fucking bats an eye.
No.
But deny them access to our country for a few hours, and everybody loses their fucking mind.
It's
you can kill them all you want.
And I saw something the other day where someone brought up the fact
let them into our country.
Kill the shit out of them.
That back in 2011, Obama banned Iraqi refugees from coming to America for 6 months.
That's fine.
Trump's executive order, if I'm correct, is only 90 days.
Basically, let me boil it down into the homeopathic remedy that it is. The end.
Okay.
Or just on the left,
Yeah.
In general,
Because, think about,
if it doesn't fit their narrative,
Yeah,
then
I saw a meme where, it showed some woman crawling out of a cave and it said anti-war leftists coming out after 8 years.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, we've still been dropping bombs and killing motherfuckers for 8 goddamn years and they have not protested shit.
No.
In hindsight, we can look at it now.
It's been radio silent for 8 years.
Excluding Trump's presidency so far, Obama had deported more illegal immigrants than any other president before him.
Right.
Okay? And nobody batted an eye.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No problem.
It's fine. The left gets to do what they want.
Yeah. I don't know. It's heavy. Where do we go from here?
More chaos, I hope.
Oh, most certainly. Chaos will not stop.
Ket can't stop.
No. Can't stop, won't stop.
Won't stop.
Frog God for life.
I think Ted says it best.
Yeah?
Ted Kaczynski.
Okay.
Where he talks about the left and how they have a lack of, power, per se.
Yeah.
Where he says that if you don't have anything to do, you lose like
Basically, if you lack a purpose or lack
if you lack
personal
a purpose
strength,
or personal strength.
you have to latch onto any and every cause that makes you feel powerful.
Yeah.
So they're useless eaters.
So at that point in time, they had like, I guess their strength was whoever they had in office at the time. And now that person isn't in office, they don't have that power structure anymore. And so they have to gain that power structure somehow.
Yeah.
And so it is lashing out against the opposite, even though they're doing the exact same thing.
It's cute. I like it. I'm trying to, just a sidebar, I'm trying to figure out the perfect amount of caffeine for a podcast. 240 milligrams is too much.
Yeah, as I say, I feel like a straight 100 would probably be right about where you need to be.
I don't know.
Do you prefer coffee or energy beverages?
I like coffee, but I was not early enough.
Coffee makes me pee.
Yeah, that's why I wear a diaper during the show. I basically it streamlines the process. We don't have to stop and pause and all that stuff.
No, he uses a diaper. I use a coffee can that I sit in.
You change out every couple weeks.
Yeah, huck it out in the yard.
Yeah.
The dog will eat it. It's okay.
That's fine.
It's
good.
We edit out the noises.
Yeah, that's it. We leave the noises out.
Yeah.
Eventually, once we get to the apex of, like stardom, we'll just have one of those, what are they called? ASMRs? Like the sound videos?
You talking about the one
yeah.
where like the girls are like whispering?
Yeah, and stirring mac and cheese.
And then you
shit.
read the comments and they're super creepy.
So, so us pissing into
We'll have like a 10-hour compilation of... I'm
pissing
sorry.
into a can.
Hang on. But we'll just have like a 10-hour compilation of you emptying your body contents into a rusty Folgers can.
And dude's writing really nasty comments about it.
Some truck driver named Dave, who's like 48, who goes west coast to east coast twice a week. It's just like, I've never heard anything quite as beautiful. Nothing's helped me masturbate on the road with an 18-wheeler behind me more than that video you posted.
It's one of those things where there's another podcast I listened to, and the dude on there got obsessed with ASMR for a hot minute. Yeah. And I finally was like, fuck it, let me see what this is all about. And it's just people making weird noises into microphones, and I was like, this doesn't affect me.
Brushing hair.
Yeah, brushing hair or going...
I don't even know how I stumbled upon it. But the first one I watched, it was this girl, she was right up against, the screen of her computer. And so, her hair was, right next to the mic, and she just brushed her hair for, 20 minutes.
Do yourselves a favor and pause the podcast right now and look up some of this shit.
And then look at the comments.
Yeah, just frolic through the comments like a prairie of thoughts.
You know what the worst part is? You look at older ASMR videos, and they're fairly, they're non-sexual. People are just making noises and shit.
Right.
But then, you look at some of them, and some of the people who do them have gradually become more sexual with their noises.
Everything turns into sex.
Or, before they wouldn't put on makeup, now they're, getting all gussied up, put on the push-up bra, and then,
It's the degradation of our society.
It's fine. Lowbrow comedy.
Yeah.
The first one I watched was an Asian kid who had just prepared his lunch, and it was fucking Kraft mac and cheese and a fucking bunch of hot dogs, and he's like, oh, this is really exciting. It's excellent. He's enunciating all of his letters and syllables, and then you just hear as he stirs it up for way too long. Bitch, that's powdered cheese. You don't have to stir that anymore. What are you doing? And then he, just continues to eat it. What the fuck?
That's what we come to. It's just it's like you said, degradation.
I only hate because they're making more money than any of us in our
I know.
professional
God
lives.
damn,
They just sit in their house. God knows what they do when the camera's off.
Yeah, I'm not 100% cool with how I make my money and all that, but these dudes hey, what do you do for a living? I make mac and cheese and eat it on the microphone.
See, there's an idea for you guys. Bones and Tub Show will be temporarily canceled. We'll postpone while they start making ASMR videos.
The beautiful thing about YouTube now is that they don't, before you used to have to make separate channels.
You make more money.
If you didn't want to have, your brand messed with. Well, now they've added playlists.
Yeah.
So we can just have a whole playlist dedicated to ASMR videos.
Wonder if there's one there's one where a guy just takes his sack and slaps it together like this.
There is now. There will be.
There will be. It exists now because I said it did.
Thoughts are things.
Yeah.
We created that.
Combing his pubic hair. Sounds like two Scotch pads getting rubbed together.
You can do a segment, a playlist of a video a week on Guess That Sound.
Yeah.
And the winner who shares and likes the video and also guesses the sound gets a $25 Amazon card.
Yeah.
I think that sound is him using Preparation H in the dark between the sheets. You just hear...
See, now I want to, the sounds are supposed to be for relaxing. Now I want somebody to start making ASMR sounds that are for, making you laugh. Like, I want to hear the one. I want to hear the one where a guy's got a popcorn kernel stuck at the back of his tongue, and he's going.
Trying to get it out off the little dangly dick in the back of his throat.
That would make me laugh. I would have listened. It could be like fucking 20 minutes long, and I would listen to the whole goddamn thing and just laugh uncontrollably the whole
Somebody
time.
choking on a piece of ham.
Yeah, definitely.
It's heavy. Oh, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Fuck.
A fat guy playing with his belly button, you know.
Man.
I want to see these things.
These things are things we can not only want to see, but we can create them. Oh.
It's a good time.
I wonder if they can hear my pulse through the microphone. Because it's probably a resting heart rate of about 124.
Something along the lines of a field mouse.
Yeah. My only thing that I want to do is eat and not be killed.
Yeah.
That's all my brain can handle.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our topics.
Let's move on to topics.
Tasty topics.
Do we want to start with old Dustin Waller's topic first?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start with Dustin Waller's topic.
Beautiful, Dustin.
Unfortunately, now you have to deal with me being an asshole and pulling it up firsthand because I'm an idiot.
You don't have that self-deprecation. It's a formula for success.
They leave you a discount on meat for saying his name on the radio.
Oh, shit.
He is a meat monger. I forgot about that.
He is a monger of meats. But, okay, so this is Dustin Waller's question. Thanks, Dustin, by the way.
I love you.
How about the people that complain that our standard of living is so high today compared to 50 years ago, but take into the fact of all the luxuries we have now compared to 50 years ago? I think what he's saying is that this breaks down to old people bitching. And, like, you know what I'm talking about. We're all on Facebook, so we see this same shit over and over again. We're like, you know, I ran barefoot in the yard and drank out of a hose and do this, and I'm just fine. Like...
All those memes.
Yeah.
I remember back in my day.
Yeah. Before they added mass chemicals to our food and water.
Exactly.
Up the price of everything. I always wonder, the thing with my problem with this topic is, like, how do you justify the rise in everything as far as the final cost and the raise of wage? Like, is it comparable to only making $350 a week and paying $2,500 for a house or a car? I mean,
yeah. See, and like, that's the thing I want to talk about is like, there's luxuries. Who gives a fuck? Right. You know what? Like, part of me longs for the days before social media and cell phones. I think I had less anxiety.
Oh, for sure.
That's why one of the reasons why I decided to take a break off of that shit, man.
That and like, think about it like this. I don't know if you're like
Makes me want to kill myself.
When I get on social media and I see someone's in some nice exotic place, I get super pissed off.
Right. Because
like, here's the thing: I go to nice places too. And, you know, I might take a picture, fake take pictures, send them back. And I know people are getting pissed off at that. But it's just like follicular envy that just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Or like people that like you're friends with that you don't understand how they live because you know they don't have a job, but they're going and doing shit. And you're like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Man.
But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like back then, I mean, if you wanted a real good hobby, you just took up drinking.
Drinking or conversational cocaine.
Exactly. I mean, I look at, here's the thing though. I think that's the difference between now and then. Like, you look at my grandpa's generation, he drank every day, but he never got, like, sloppy and beat his wife. He'd get drunk and mow his lawn.
I'm sure some people did.
Or sit in his garage, right?
Somebody's gonna fuck it up.
But, like...
They always have to.
Yeah.
But, like, they didn't, like, really binge drink back then.
Right.
They drank to get a nice healthy buzz on, and then they ended it there. I think today the problem is binge drinking. I think people, when they drink, they just drink to get drunk. They don't drink just to have a beverage.
They
just
drink
to adult beverage.
They drink to.
I don't know. Some people do.
They drink to dampen the sadness.
Some people do, but less is what I'm getting at. Because back then, you know, you didn't have fucking Netflix and all this shit. So, like, what did you do? You sat in your garage with your friends and you drank beer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I read this short story. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I mean, but we got to remember that our generation...
John Cheever. You ever read the John Cheever short story, The Swimmer?
I feel like I have, yeah.
So it's about this guy who... It's got a lot to do with alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's written in like the 60s or 50s or something. In like suburbia America. And he's like going to like all these parties and stuff in like his suburb. And it's called The Swimmer because he's like swimming through everybody's like swimming pool in their backyard. And he stops and like has a drink with them. He's on his way home. And like when he finally gets home, like he's like blasted drunk. And his like wife and like kids are like gone. Because he like spent all his time like out like drinking and partying.
I blame them. His family, I mean.
It's supposed to be like a correlation with like, I guess, alcoholism and how like people weren't really paying attention to what was really going on at home at the time.
Yeah.
Well,
But I'm not saying that everyone was an alcoholic in the 50s and 60s, but it's just an example.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, here's the thing. Like, we gotta remember now. This is according to science.
Science.
If you've ever listened to this show before, science is just as questionable as most anything else.
Right.
Now, according to science, we'll be the first generation of individuals that will not live out their parents.
I refuse.
Okay.
Fuck that statistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I love you, Mom.
Yeah. Well, okay, not in that sense, but you won't live to be as old as she will.
What about like all the technology that they have in like, the medical
and I bring
world?
that into it, but I think at the end of the day, like that
Just being devil's advocate here,
technology
but
is
They're not going to give that shit to the
As
plant.
I say, yeah, the ability to get said technology that is required. You know what I mean? Like, and then on the economic side, we're the first generation to not make as much money as their parents did.
Yeah.
That's cold hard truth. I'm here to tell you.
Well, think about like
it's not that we make less. Our money doesn't have as much spending power as theirs.
right.
What did
Think about our parents whenever they were our age. You know what I mean?
Trying to imagine my father when I was. Oh Jesus!
But like they probably had a house and
yeah.
kids. Obviously, people are having children a lot later these days.
Well,
But
look at the
think
cost.
about it though, or like our grandparents. Like whenever our grandparents were like our age, they had already had like 20 kids.
That's because for
Right.
some reason society has decided to extend adolescence into like middle 20s.
Right.
Right.
Only one person like had a job normally in the household.
Yeah.
Sometimes two, but like I would say for the most part, it's like one person had a really nice paying job, and then the other person like stayed at home like with the kids, or maybe had like some part time gig or something.
So people say it's so much better now than it was then. And granted, we have a lot more bells and whistles and shit.
Yeah.
The prices and the income seem to be the same, just on a lower scale, but it still doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it's some sort of fuckery where I'm not supposed to understand it.
Oh yeah.
Like talking to my grandparents, like they bought like I think it's like 3 or 5 acre plot with a 2-story house and a barn and a pond and all that. It's like
Mhm.
$50,000.
Yeah.
He made something ridiculous, like $10 a week, something like that. And they paid off all of it, and they've saved, back when you had a higher interest rate for savings, they saved like $1 million.
Well, think about
But
it.
everything's
though.
better now.
Back in the day, like you could graduate high school and go get a job like in some industry or factory somewhere and make enough money to like feed your family of 100.
Right.
However
Yeah.
many kids they had.
Even with a tiny ass.
You graduate
hourly rate.
high school now, like good luck finding a job that pays $15 an hour.
Good luck getting a job with any basic bitch degree, too.
Well, I know
If you're not going to be engineering or, some seriously well-driven business degree.
Well, I know they said that they've raised the rate at which it costs to raise a child from the ages of 0 to 18.
Is it $280,000 now?
Yeah, it's like $280,000,
That's fine.
and that's baseline. That's like if your kid doesn't have any like health issues or anything like that. That's just the base of how much it's going to cost
Right.
to raise a child.
Well, how about like childcare, man?
Oh, dude, don't even get me
I
started
know
on that
somebody
shit.
that like has a master's degree in, I don't know, like I should know this. Some kind of like social work, whatever.
Mhm.
But like she said she was only making like $42,000 a year, like with a master's degree.
Luckily, George
And
Bush passed a law to where she
her
could never
husband was
file
making,
bankruptcy on that
I
student loan.
mean, a decent amount of money or whatever. But like she said that like it was going to cost them like $30,000 a year, like to send 2 kids to like childcare. I don't know, like it might have been like the best one in the
Oh, I
city.
totally believe
But
it.
still, like I could make more money, or I could save more money by just staying home with the kids and like spending time with them than going and working and then sending them to childcare.
Like if there's one social program,
How
that
ridiculous is that?
I
It's
would
fucking crazy.
I would put my weight behind. It would be behind having some sort of like program for working parents to be able to like some sort of childcare aid. You know what I mean? Like I would totally be down for that because fucking. I mean, at one point in time, we were paying this woman, and mind you, he was only with her like 3 days a week. We were paying her $175 a week for childcare.
Damn.
This was, mind you, he was like 2. He wasn't like crazy. She fed him one meal.
This was just somebody's house. I mean, this wasn't
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
child
woman-
care
yeah,
facility.
it was a woman's house. She had like 7 or 8 kids. So she was making, probably about over $1,000 a week on this child.
Did you have to pay for food, or did she pay for food?
No, she paid for the food. But she only fed him like, usually like lunch and a snack.
Right. She wasn't making them like a New York strip.
Exactly. No, it was like fucking Cheetos and
Right.
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, fuck, come on.
Right.
She definitely wasn't teaching him his letters either.
But the thing is, it's not like she was the most expensive option either. There were other places that were more expensive for 3 days a week.
I imagine the hardest part's finding a comfortable balance between New York Strip lunch and, on the high end, and then on the low end you got Child Fight Club.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Then you get people fucking making kids fight for food.
Yeah.
Which is whatever.
Throw a knife in there, make it interesting.
Accountability.
Parents come, they're like,
Well, Billy bit him.
Yeah.
These things happen. We'll talk to his parents.
Yeah.
Next day they're like, get in there! They give him a roll of quarters.
Yeah.
You want those gummy bears, bitch?
What'd I tell you?
Hit him right in the knockout button.
Right in the
there.
button.
Right
What we
there.
talking about this morning in the playroom?
Choke him out! Choke him out! That little toddler's got great side control.
It's a bad day when you gotta wrap your kids' hands every morning.
Yeah. That's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm fine with it. Whatever.
I guess it'll make them tougher.
Yeah.
I guess. You gogi. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's a hard question to ask. I mean, yeah, here's the thing. We have all these, like, distractions. That's all we have. We don't have luxuries. We have distractions.
Right.
Go look with sports team and or college.
Yeah. Or let's go look on Facebook for fucking 2 hours at people's dumbass memes.
I read
Sorry. Not sorry.
I read a statistic the other day that the average person wastes 40 minutes of their day on Facebook.
Oh,
I like to say that it's more.
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
That's the low end.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how many hours have been wasted looking at a Minions meme in my life, but I know it's too much.
When you should be doing other things, like
Yeah.
learning calculus or something.
Reading-
Science.
Reading a book or something. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, even, like, beyond social media, look at, like, how much time we spend on fucking news sites and shit like that.
Yeah.
You can only get fed bullshit for the most part.
Well, you gotta think we're like, just absorbed in this fucking entertainment culture. We have no real sense of purpose, and we're still being raised up through that Pavlovian conditioning in schools that's meant to create factory workers, not thinkers. So we're trained for something for however many years, and then we get out in the real world where there are no more factory jobs. So we feel dumb as fuck. We don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
But let's watch YouTube memes for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Try not to cut ourselves. Let's
But I
take a
think
picture of that dinner.
I read that
Take a picture of
essay
some outfit.
you sent me, As a Man Thinketh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like he says, though, like, you can't really, like, once you start blaming, like, other people for your shortcomings, then, like, you're never going to rise to the top.
That is true.
So I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing these days. They're like, well, it's the government holding me back, or it's because of the color of my skin, or I'm a female, I can't get a job because of this, or I'm too dumb, like, my high school didn't teach me enough. Like, no, bitch, it's because you don't fucking apply yourself.
Right. I mean, I fucking almost failed high school, and I managed to figure out that we live in a bullshit system. I pulled myself out of it, and I'm trying to do the best with what I got.
Yeah, I
Eat a
mean, me
dick.
too.
America.
Like, I
And
show
what
up
have
to,
you.
like, college, I'm fucking 31 years old, and I have no fucking clue of what's going on.
Damn,
What
if
it has
I
to
had
do
the
with
time,
math.
I'd make a TV show about your life.
But, like, I go into these classrooms with these kids who have, like, done, like, all this shit in high school, like physics and, like, calculus 1, calculus 2, and they're, like, taking it again in college because they're required to for whatever reason.
Monies.
And, like,
Yeah, right.
We need your monies.
I sit in there sometimes and feel like a complete idiot. But, I mean, I pass the class, like, it's not because, like, I'm a genius. It's because I go in there and, like,
Apply yourself.
apply myself.
Well,
And I can definitely tell when I don't apply myself because then I get bad grades. But then if I, like, focus and do, like, work like I'm supposed to instead of, like, cruising on Facebook for hours, then, like, it shows.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll have that with those bigger jobs, they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The eminent philosopher and junkie Sage Skeeter told us that.
I had this professor last semester. He would tell us, like, no whining. He was a super cool guy. He had, like, long hair, and he looked like he fucking smoked weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
He was like, I don't want you guys coming to my office hours. I don't want to hear any of this whining shit.
Good job.
He's like, you guys are in fucking calculus too, so don't come into my office and tell me that you're too dumb.
Right.
You've made it this far, so obviously you're not an idiot.
Quit playing checkers.
So quit
Playing
acting
chess,
like you're
bitch.
dumb and just
Yeah.
apply yourself.
Right. Let's be honest, though. It's not just the fact that you apply yourself, but you have a healthy understanding of the world, and none of them could fight you and win in the street.
Tell me, when he finished his speech, did he drop the mic?
He had to.
He always dropped the mic
Fucking A.
every day.
God, I'd say he almost gave me a little flick out of the audience.
Oh, yeah.
That's for you.
Did you listen to our last episode?
No.
Well, I'd like to share with you one eminent pearl of knowledge that we dropped in there, thanks to Joey Coco Diaz. And this can be a philosophy you carry with you for the rest of your life, if you want. I'm going to try my best to say it in his voice. And it'll work for you, because it's Monday. So,
I hate Mondays.
it's Monday, cocksuckers. You woke up slinging a gluten-free dick with both hands. Who's better than you? Stay black.
Oh, Joey Coco Diaz.
If that doesn't pull you out of the gutter, I don't know what will,
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. I think the older generation complaining about how much better we have it has been a thing since the beginning of time. Seriously, like, imagine like back in the day, some fucking young caveman is fucking pushing around a cart with a wheel, And his fucking dad sitting in the background. You know, in my day,
You're fucking soft.
we didn't have no goddamn wheel.
Carry Triplet our muscles.
Fucking pussy.
Pussy.
Piece of shit. Yeah, so I think we should start worrying when the old people start saying, "You guys have it way worse than we did."
Oh, yeah. I'm curious to see. I always try to look ahead in the kaleidoscope of the future.
Yeah.
My favorite hallucination that I think we might be about to go through is that they're building up the economy to make everything look awesome. Everybody, the downtrodden white man that elected Donald Trump gets all excited and patriotic and shit, and then they just pull the fucking floor out.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse than before. They're not going to come in with money and fix it. We're just going to be forced to eat our neighbors. And that's when that'll happen. Like, the grandparents are still around that we haven't turned into dog food are going to be like, you guys have it harder than we ever did.
They just look at you and, God damn!
Yeah.
So you think that they're gonna, maybe start raising interest rates? And then make everything go through the fucking roof, and then everybody can just blame it on
And then,
the Trumpster.
here's the thing. And here's the thing. It's only, but it's not to say he won't have his part in this, because if he really does raise that 20% tariff on Mexico to pay for said proverbial wall, interest rates plus the 20% extra on anything that we get import from Mexico is just going to add to the burden.
It'd be better for them to just pay the shit because they think they're going to be a smart ass and raise the price 20% when really 90% of Americans are going to be like, I'm not buying your fucking shit.
Well,
Fuck your avocados.
I heard there's
Fuck
only a
off.
few items that we get from Mexico that we can't get from other places. And that involves things such as Corona and tequila.
Yeah.
I do like tequila. I'm not going to lie.
Tequila's alright.
Yeah.
Turns me into a demon.
I mean, I
That's
like
fine.
avocados, but those come from California and all over the place. It's like a thing to have avocados in
I like
in
the-
California.
I like the wall projection where they built the wall around California too.
Hey, the way they're talking, 1 in 3
I heard-
Californians want to secede right now.
Yeah, I
So-
read that
Let 'em go.
they want to refuse to pay their federal taxes,
See, that's exciting too because
and
it
they want to
also
secede, which is great.
it goes with my chaos theory that maybe it'll show people that taxation is theft
Yeah.
and the power of the purse. When all you got to do, depending on where you work at, is get on a certain website that deals with your paycheck, turn that motherfucker Fed allowance to 12, and just let it ride. Eat a dick.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think happens if they secede?
I don't know.
Is that like the Fort Sumter of our age, or is that?
Hopefully it happens this like 2 days before that fucking San Andreas explodes.
What happened back in the day whenever the South tried to secede?
Oh, the government was fine with it. They let them
See,
do
here's
it.
the thing we got to remember is
Or wait, they invaded them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
America has the largest economy in the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put this in perspective. California has the 4th largest economy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes us the largest economy in the world is part of them being a large economy as well.
Yeah.
So all that money
Silicon Valley.
gone.
Yeah.
Well, if they do it, then it's gonna make other states that are in that area, like on the West Coast, to want to do it, like parts of Oregon or parts of Washington.
I mean,
I say parts because a lot of those people in like Oregon and Washington are like, "You sure do got a nice car."
Woo! NASCAR.
But a lot of them are like really super left.
what did they do? What did they do to the South? What did the North do to the South?
I thought they invaded them.
They burned it. They
Yeah.
burned it to the fucking ground. And then
Cleanse
not
it
only
with
that,
fire.
they sent in northern generals to govern them until during Reconstruction.
So they got their shit together.
Yeah.
Paid the
So,
fucking tax.
in
bend the knee.
Californians out there listening, I think there is a stern reminder as to how the feds really feel about states
We've talked about the
and
government.
fucking with their money.
Yeah. I think the fucking with the money needs to be done, but be prepared. And I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you something. California, with your silly-ass gun laws,
You haven't
stand no
impressed
chance.
me. You have not impressed me, California.
You don't have the means to protect yourself.
Now, if someone say,
I heard the internet's
Someone
come from
said-
out of California way.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Someone say
Cut that whole tab.
Yeah.
My modem just blinks.
sit there constantly refreshing.
Shit!
No.
Yeah. It's over.
Well then, I'm going to enlist. I want my internet back.
Go out California way. Get
Now,
out interwebs.
if you tell me, Texas is going to secede, I would be like, good luck.
Yeah.
I would say good luck to them simply because I feel like they would have a better chance of at least holding on longer than California. California, no, buddy.
Those motherfuckers don't have winter. They don't know what it's like.
I feel like
Winter will come.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, winter will come.
for some reason though, I feel like if Texas wanted to secede, that the federal government would actually do something about it.
Yeah.
But if California wants to succeed, they would probably just or secede. They would probably just I don't know.
I don't think they'd let them. I don't think they let them. Not only that, I think they go in there with force, destroy whatever government they set up, and do what some Californians have already talked about doing, and that's splitting the state up into 6 different states. Because even Californians have talked about this because the demographics from each area represent different political ideologies and different
Totally different cultures of
socioeconomic
people,
backgrounds all around the state. So they proposed to divide the state into, I think it was either 6 or 4 different states.
Colorado did that too.
Yeah, based on the demographics. Now, if they were to secede, I fully believe our government, the federal government, would come down on them, harsh as fuck.
Come upon them.
Put the fucking boot down on the neck.
Yeah.
Burn it to the ground, and then divide the state up so it could never happen again.
Got him. Hopefully they firebomb the inner cities too. That's just me talking out of my ass.
I mean, I don't hold it outside the realm of possibility. Imagine, where are they going to put their seat of power?
The only place
San Francisco?
The only place in California with firearms is the inner city, so they're not going to just go door to door looking for a fucking bullet in the head.
Is it beyond us just to drop a 10 megaton nuke right in San Francisco?
We might just teach them the lesson that the United States government taught Tianjin last year and drop the rod of God on those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Hashtag tungsten rod dropped from a satellite.
Just obliterate.
We don't know what happened. Basically, it was a mistake that,
It was an accident.
Hell, they might even
sorry.
fire up the technologies that are only speculative, like fucking HARP and shit.
Sorry.
Really start fucking
The
with
death ray.
I'm sorry.
That are earthquake causing technology and really just fuck them.
I think that, back to the Trump keck real quick. But, what better opportunity for the globalists to take power if they use that philosophy that, they failed, right? The Brexit, Donald Trump's election. They could be basic bitches like America, and look at failure as I got to stop now because I failed. Or they could look at it like, what's the seed of success hidden in this failure? They could drop the floor out of the global banking system and say, nationalism is what ruined you.
Yeah.
If we fall, so falls the rest of the world because of the domino effect of the economy.
Yeah.
The globalists can come in and be like, we tried to help you, globalism, but you stuck to your racist nationalist beliefs. Look where it got you.
Yeah.
You ate your daughter. You happy?
Was it delicious? I hope it was.
Suck this globalist teeth.
Vicky, we have pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
Vicky, we have blueberry pancakes.
You gotta listen to the last episode so you can get our breakdown Ruby Ridge. That shit was fucked.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to listen to that one. I have a hard time listening to it because, it's on YouTube.
Well, I think this is a good time.
I would really enjoy to be able to, download the audio only.
Okay.
And, listen to it while I'm, driving down the road.
I think this is a good time.
So basically, what Doug Herty got us onto, we're going to drop a surprise bomb right in your laps, but we are about to leave. I wouldn't say leave YouTube. We're still going to use YouTube because we love YouTube.
Yeah, I think we'll still put episodes on there because there is a certain swath of our audience that prefers YouTube.
Yeah, but for those that don't, like Doug Herty himself, we're going to have a website and an RSS feed. So look out for that soon.
So iTunes, podcatchers, all over the place.
So Stitcher?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Anything.
Whatever my preferred.
Yeah.
Your preferred.
I have no affiliation with Stitcher.
Yeah.
Your
I would
preferred,
like to say that.
Your preferred mode, because I've had that complaint not just from Doug Herty, but a couple others that have said what they really want to do is have it so they can listen to it in their car on the way to work.
Right.
Because...
Like a fucking doctor would.
Yeah, like a doctor would.
Right.
Doctor
Doug Herty, not a doctor.
Yeah. Doctor not being a doctor copy.
But anyways, they want to listen to it on their way to work. They want to be able to listen to us waxing poke because when they're home and they're with their families, they have to go to a special place, a quote unquote safe place,
right,
to listen to our show because we get kind of blue. And
I
you
wouldn't
don't want
say
your kids
necessarily that, but maybe some people. But I would say for the most part, there's other things going on, and it's hard to listen to it whenever you're doing other
Exactly,
things.
Yeah. When you're
Plus,
home...
I understand that it's a problem, too, with YouTube because you got to pause it, and then if you leave the room or whatever, you leave it paused for too long, you got to reload it, and if you're not at home on a Wi-Fi, that'll fuck your data all the way up.
Oh, all the way.
That's why I get 12 a month, because I'm fucking reckless with it.
But, we're calling it Phase 3, because... I feel like Phase 1 was when we were still Skyping the show and having a lot of technical difficulties. Phase 2 was when we got our new studio and were able to get together and do the show. And then Phase 3 is...
We nuked the world.
Well, we nuked the world with our voices.
Yeah.
But, and also, part of Phase 3 is we have set up a Patreon account.
Yeah, we're going to share that all over the Facebook page.
Yes. Now, about the Patreon account, everybody. I don't like being a beggar for money.
You shouldn't.
But understand that what we do isn't necessarily, we're not begging, because we give you guys entertainment.
Right.
So, here's the dig. if you like our show, if you like listening to the dulcet tones of Bones and Tubs, all you have to do is go to that Patreon page, Bones and Tubs, and donate the amount of money that you feel is fit to donate to us.
It's a monthly fee, so technically if you're drunk right now, you could go to Patreon and pledge like $1.50 a month and not even notice it's gone.
Yeah. Now, understand this.
Where the fuck's my money going?
If you do this for us, it allows us not only helps our plan with Phase 3. It also lets us know that you appreciate the show, and depending on how much money you're willing to bleed out of your account every month, you'll get some perks.
Yeah, there will be perks.
There will be perks, and trust me, I think
you should make a T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. What do you think it should look like?
I don't know.
What kind of Bones and Tubs billboard would you like to carry around on your body?
I'm not sure.
Dr. Doug Herty, not a doctor.
Yeah.
You're talking about shit that's part of Phase 4, and we're not even in Phase 4 yet.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
We can't confirm or deny there'll be merchandise. You're talking about classified shit that only gets talked about behind closed doors.
Just to segue off the business aspect, because they've got a little peppering of what we're doing, I'd like to talk about a T-shirt real quick.
Okay.
One that the Doctor Not Doctor is wearing.
Okay.
It's a beautiful... We'll get a picture of it for the Facebook page, but it's I love your Never a Straight Answer shirt you got on.
Never a straight answer.
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before. It's hilarious.
It's good.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're going to try to do with the new SpaceX merger is to try and help them get to Mars. The biggest problem we're having right now is getting past the Van Allen radiation belt. But we had no problem with that when we went to the moon.
Right?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Take that
We're saying
whole...
that now?
That's what, yeah. I'll have to show you the video. But there's a video on YouTube from NASA talking about their merger with SpaceX. And they're showing you all these sexy fucking computer models and this little, fresh new dick that they're about to shoot into the atmosphere to cum people all over other planets. And they're like,
Well, the problem we're having is getting through the radiation belt. We can't figure it out.
well, motherfucker, you walked on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Saw that fake ass shit.
I'm gonna watch this.
It's good.
But yeah, so go take a look at our Patreon page, and we're not going to tell you how much to donate.
I can't tell you.
If it's $1 a month, hey, it's $1 a month.
I'm not mad at you.
It puts it towards us. I mean, I don't want to get too far into it, but then there's, we have classified Phase 5, and then we still have classified Phase 4, but then we have top secret Phase 5.
Yeah.
Now, top secret Phase 5, we can't even talk about yet.
There's some shit. All I'm going to say, and this might not have anything to do with that, but I will say this. There are things that we can't do or talk about because of the place that we have to go to get money.
Exactly.
But if we no longer have to do that,
The place that cannot be named.
it's over with.
Now, if enough of you got together and put that monthly fee together, and it's going to have to be a lot of people.
Even if you don't want to put money for it, just share the motherfucker.
You want us completely unfiltered? You want to hear all of us?
All over
You
your
want
face.
all of me? You want all of him?
Basically, you're saying you want us both at the same time.
At the same time.
Fully.
That's Phase 5. Phase 5 is top secret. You're not allowed to know about it yet.
And Doug Herty, too, because he's here. I mean, he can
Yeah.
come back whenever he wants.
Exactly. And like I said, depending on how much money you give a month, you're going to get special shit. You're probably either going to get maybe thank you videos or...
Maybe a pair of our old underwear
Exactly.
that we haven't washed.
Or, I mean, I think when we figure out what the rewards are going to be, I think the top reward would definitely be, and it would have to be a substantial amount of money
Right.
a month, would be like getting to come on the show, like as part of it.
How do you spell that?
CUM.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit!
But literally, some of you are thinking, well, fuck, Dr. Doug Herty got on the show, not a doctor, without having to pay any money. Well, we've known Dr. Doug Herty, not a doctor, for a long time.
He's paid through years of it fucking,
for being
companionship.
for companionship and friendship.
Mouth hugs.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure Lucy cigarettes and beers.
Moist.
He's probably paid his dues. And anybody else that we bring on the show at this point before we hit Phase 5, is the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but like I said, that's just down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Future talk.
Yeah, future talk.
You
We're
don't
just
wanna
trying
go on
to
that
we're trying to initiate Phase 3.
Once
And-
the economy collapses, we'll alternate our our Patreon page to accept canned goods.
Once the
Yeah.
economy collapses, you can put it on shortwave radio and broadcast throughout the world.
yeah,
Fucking A right. Fucking A right, come on.
we'll have people of fucking Lithuania listening to Bones and Tubs.
Yeah,
But yeah,
come on.
so that's Phase 3.
It's good. It's exciting.
Yeah, so check it out.
Global markets.
Check it out.
Global markets.
We're looking to expand.
I don't know if anybody... I mean, I'm sure there's I know that our golden child listens to every episode. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a few of you that listen to every episode, and I'm sure you've been able to tell the increase in quality. Prepare for another step forward, because we're about to have not one Snowball microphone, but two.
Dude.
And Snowball doesn't give us money either.
Yeah, Snowball does not give us money.
But if they want to, I mean, the email's on the Facebook page.
But,
And I'll just wear Snowball shit everywhere. I'll leave my house dressed like a Snowball microphone.
I'm-
Basically, I'm a prostitute.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I have morals, but, like, there's certain things I probably wouldn't, you would...
They're loose at best.
Now saying, here's the thing. Like, there's certain, like, imagine if, like, Planned Parenthood came to us and said, we want to sponsor you.
Nope,
Yeah.
probably not.
You know what I mean?
Until you see those 6 zeros on that check. Like,
Okay.
Oh. But, like, some companies I wouldn't be cool with. What if Blackwater? What if Blackwater's like, hey, we want to give you money.
you've
You're
not
right.
mentioned anything that's made me upset yet.
Well, I'm trying to... ISIS.
Yeah.
I mean,
CIA.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, this is the thing. Like, the federal government's going to have to spin its message when it destroys California.
Yeah.
So even the federal government might come on to hire us to do commercials for them to promote their invasion of California.
The new California Republic.
Yeah.
Hashtag not Fallout.
Not Fallout.
Fallout, the real game.
Oh, the real game.
Yeah.
I want my Gatlin laser.
Well, and you can judge us for our lack of scruples, but I mean, look at the Podfather himself, the man, Joe Rogan. And I'm going to say this because nobody else is, but I listened to most of his episodes in succession until I heard one where he was like, listen, anybody out there that knows the truth about any of this shit I've been talking about can come to me, show it to me, and I won't say shit ever again. So he got a paycheck. He quit talking about certain topics. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Somebody came to him with a fat-ass check, showed him a picture of a dead alien. He was like, only straight science from now.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd stop talking about aliens and stuff?
Yeah, he doesn't. He was real heavy against the moon landing, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wow, we went to the moon." Shut the fuck up with that.
Yeah.
We probably did, but we didn't see the real footage of it. I'm digressing,
Yeah.
but basically, we get a check large enough. I mean, I'll dress as a woman for a year.
Yeah.
You want me to come to your house and mow it in the middle of July in a mascot outfit? I'll do it.
I'll do anything for
I will shave
Just saying.
I will shave my entire body so I look like I have alopecia.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Alopecia.
But yeah.
It's good.
But anyways, so
Speaking of dangerous ideas, we should probably get into the next topic: patriotism.
should we do the next topic or should we have our newest advertiser first?
We can do that.
Okay.
It's 45. Let's cut for advertisement. We need to get that money.
We really do.
We love you.
We really do.
Hi everyone, we're Bones and Tubs from an alternate universe where we're two foxy ladies instead of two sloppy boys.
That's right. We're here to dive into the truths behind the feminine mystique.
And we won't let any man tell us to manage our memories.
We're here to eat chocolate and topple the patriarchy.
And we're all out of chocolate.
Hello, pretty ladies. We are the Borns and Tube Shoe.
Who are you?
We come from another universe where the Burns and Turbs are industrial Swedes who nicked langsome Americans.
What does langsome mean?
It means lazy, awesome babies.
Don't call us babies, you Swedish meatball.
Listen, sweetheart, it is just an endearment of terms.
Sweetheart?
Don't have a cows, honey babies.
You pigs!
Well, at least we know that you guys are as big as dicks as the other two.
Hey now, that's not a very kind. We at least has the ABBA do our theme song.
Typical disco-loving Swedes.
Now that's just as xenophobic. We just happens to like ABBA.
Why don't you go back to making shitty furniture and practicing for the Winter Olympics, asshole?
Let's move along, Bjorns. We don't want to associate with these types of people.
What do you mean, you people, douchebag?
You are right, Turbs. You made it cross the line about the furniture.
So anyways, come listen to our show and we'll delve deep into all things that define our womanhood.
And don't forget to stop on by Ryan Simpson's page and check out her album. And check out our Facebook page where you can send us topics to talk about.
And remember, no boys allowed!
And we're back.
Hopefully the sound is the same. If not, it's because we just changed to the Blue Snowball microphone. We might have been recording from the shitty onboard mic, but you're still here and it's better now.
Yeah.
That commercial was crazy as fuck.
Dude, that was weird.
We're delving deep for these
Yeah.
adverts.
Well, I mean, they're coming to us.
That's fine. And I mean, like I said earlier, probably in better quality now. But I said earlier, I'll do anything that an advertiser wants me to do.
Exactly. So go check out Lady Bones and Tubs and apparently Swedish Bjorns and Turbs.
Bjorns and Turbs.
But anyway, so next topic.
Endearment of terms.
And this topic was from yours truly, Tubbs himself. Because it's something I've noticed lately. And our guest on the show today, I feel like he's our resident person that we could talk about this about comfortably without being accused of certain things.
I have a lot of hate in my heart.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
I mean, because he's a veteran, and today's topic is simply patriotism.
Patriotism.
Now, when I say that, it's more or less like people's notions of patriotism and what it means to be patriotic.
Yeah.
I think people have different interpretations of what that actually means, and I've been noticing this a lot lately amongst the different, because I have people from all walks of life who I'm friends with, and I think they have different interpretations of what being patriotic truly means.
Yeah.
I mean, just to dive right into it, I'd say, like, and it's not as simple as this, it's more ambiguous, but, like, I feel like I'm talking about the more defined parts of it, where you have one side that's more like, treats patriotism like a something to put on your mantle and to honor, right? Like an urn. More flag-waving, saber-rattling, veteran honoring types, right?
Yeah.
And to them, that defines patriotism. And then you have the other side, which is defiance at all angles, saying what they want to say and resisting all things that the government tries to do. And to them, that's their version of patriotism, and it's not, they don't treat it like something to place on the mantle. They treat it like something you have to use.
Yeah, it's my favorite type of patriotism, I think, would be like covering up anything the government does with a blanket statement of, the flag wave.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite kind, or what do you prefer?
What do I prefer?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
What do you mean?
That's the ambiguous part. I think it's both things.
Yeah.
I think patriotism is all those things, but the thing is, what I'm talking about is that each side has their own rendition of what they believe patriotism truly is.
That's why I was asking you to carve out your favorite. I mean, what is your...
What's the better of the two?
Yeah,
in
your view.
I'm going to actually, to an extent, side with the left on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think patriotism and our rights are something that have to be used.
Yeah.
Have to be exercised.
Muscles that need flexed.
Exactly. We have to flex those patriotic muscles or they'll become flaccid.
Right.
I guess something you can flex.
Oh, okay, dude.
Got him.
But, but the thing, that's not to say I agree with him totally. Like, it's still, deep within my soul, it hurts me when I watch someone burn an American flag.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
Wipe their ass with it.
Yeah. Do all sorts of nasty shit to it.
Yeah.
Because, at the end of the day, it is true what the other side says when men have died for that flag.
Right. I think it'd be a lot easier to stomach if the fucking pussies on the other side were willing to accept everybody's patriotism the way we accept everybody's patriotism.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't handle any other type.
Yeah.
They hate the flag. They hate the flag wavers. They hate anything that has to do with, anybody else's version of reality other than their own.
But then again, you look on the other side and they hate that version of it too. They hate, in all reality, let's be honest.
In all reality,
they hate protesters. They hate
in all reality, both sides are hypocrites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a healthy dose on both sides for sure.
And I think, and I'm putting this out there for our listeners, just to maybe give them a minute to reflect and realize, everybody has their own way of expressing their patriotism.
Right.
Okay, so one thing that I notice a lot is these people want to talk about freedom of religion, especially the right. Some reason they act like their freedom of religion is being infringed upon.
Right.
And that religion mostly being Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the same token, they're not just lightweight, but heavyweight, infringing upon the religious freedoms of other religions.
True that.
But
for sure.
At the same token, though, I watched this video this morning or yesterday of these Muslims had this call to prayer in some airport somewhere, right? Okay, no problem. I don't really care. But if it was a bunch of Christian people that had a call to prayer in the airport, the left would have fucking lost their mind.
Shit their pants.
But since it wasn't the Christians, which are mostly the right-hand side, then it was cool. So it's hypocrisy everywhere.
Right.
And
hypocrisy, it bothers me.
Both sides.
And I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago about this when I started getting this notion, and he was talking about how how the Christian God and United States, were meant to be together and all this, and I said that the best prescription is to keep God and politics away from each other. Mm-hmm. It's they're two different things. You can feel a certain way about a certain social issue, but at the end of the day, if your government feels a different way about it, that's the government. And I distinctly remember something along the lines of render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. And I think that expands beyond taxes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to agree with what your government is doing.
No.
Per se, but that's the thing though. people who want to mix their religion with their politics, those things interfere with each other. But if you can keep those two things separated, keep your logical, political mind away from your religious morals, then I think you'll be all right.
Basically, the heart of the issue with our government was the fact that we are all sentient beings created in some fashion. You can believe however you want to believe, but the government shouldn't infringe on any of it.
Like, the
government's job's not to tell you what to do.
And when it comes to like how this was started as a Christian nation, let's remember the notion that our revolution was started basically under before the revolution, we lived under the idea that God made the king. He made the king.
God king.
So he was the God. Yeah, I mean, he was the king for a reason. God made him the king,
right?
And the king's edicts were, albeit, word of God, right? Now our revolution was in defiance of said messenger, right?
Right.
So how could we say that we were a nation based on Christianity when we defied that notion from the very beginning?
Right.
That God is what made the king, and we have to abide by him.
Yeah.
And it's that it wasn't God.
A lot of that whole God belief in the emperor was the fact that, like, their bloodline was the only one that was chosen by God. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what they talk about all the time. Is like the king of the king of the king of the king,
and we
the
saw
king's son of the son of the son.
Merovingian
somewhere
bloodline.
down the line was like the child of somebody who was like a god or something.
Right.
But the thing is,
they're all
like,
descendants of like somebody that was like some religious figure, like in the Bible,
but
allegedly.
The founding fathers thought that was unfair.
Yeah.
They thought to each man his own. Like, any man can rise from obscurity and become something greater.
Right.
Like, it shouldn't be based on lineage. It shouldn't be based on divine right that you become this powerful person.
So you're saying that Donald Trump is not God's chosen leader?
No.
Okay.
I don't think any president's probably been God's chosen leader.
What about Bathhouse Berry?
I don't think Bathhouse Berry was God's chosen leader either.
Okay. I'm just curious like a cat.
I mean, like, and the thing is, like, I mean, we could get into an argument about being a Christian nation and whatnot, but, like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like most of the founding fathers were deists anyways. Like,
Gnostics at best.
Gnostics at best, like, and anybody out there wondering, it's basically the idea that though there is a God, he is indifferent.
Right.
He does not care.
What was it? Is it the Gnostics or the deists that believe that, like, creation, everything that we experience, to include ourselves, is basically like God created the fine Swiss watch that he put up on a shelf.
More or less,
and he kind of looks at it from time to time, but he doesn't care that much.
Yeah, like, he's not looking at individual gears here. He's looking at the whole piece. Like, and still yet indifferent. He isn't interested in the individual machinations of every single piece of said watch. You know what I mean? So that was their notion. Like, he doesn't care. So if we revolt, we're not really infringing upon, like, God by doing this.
We're cogs in the watch.
And we're being oppressed and shit on.
So basically, I mean, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
I mean, that's more or less what they believed.
Yeah.
Like, we have to see, that's the thing. They wouldn't have rebelled if they didn't believe in that in the first place. And that's the thing we got to remember.
Do you think they would have been fine with all the things that are going on now?
No. I think they'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them would be pissed.
On both sides.
On both
too.
sides, yeah.
And that's the thing, like...
Because the argument I hear is that, like, well, our country was founded on people protesting.
Like, imagine if they brought George Washington in. I feel like once someone sat him down and gave him the bare bones idea of what's become this nation, he would throw up.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking about both sides on this one.
The only one that would have been anyway somewhat kind of comfortable would probably have been Benjamin Franklin. He would have just been enjoying the bath.
He would have been slaying pussy. That's like, let's not kid ourselves.
What would have pissed him off the most is when he got into a bath with one that he, making out hot and heavy, and she leaned over and said, "Suck my dick." He would have been careful about when bathing and who he got with in the bathtub after that.
Yeah. But, so, I mean...
She had a penis!
Because, like, here's the thing, like, I mean, Washington was always opposed to the notion of parties, first of all. And those are so, like, established now that it's almost impossible for us to return to a different time.
Right, basically.
And let's get real, they're both the same.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Until now, I mean, for the most part, what I've seen so far, we definitely elected the leader of chaos. Because he's in there, he came in with a giant gluten-free dick ready to wreck the day.
Yeah.
He's ready, willing and able.
That's for sure.
So, I mean...
Until the Federal Reserve has him plugged. But,
yeah, right.
But I digress.
Yeah, you digress.
I don't want to reach too far in the future.
But yeah, so, I mean... Yeah, I think he'd throw up, and I think the rest of them would probably be close to it or shitting their pants just by what it has become.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've put too much in it, and the nanny state, I think, would just make them fucking lose their minds. Like, the amount of surveillance, the amount of things that they're doing to us, I think would just make them go fucking crazy, man.
Both sides would be a disappointment.
Like, and the thing is, like, you know, and I hear a lot of, like, talk, like, well, a lot of them were slave owners and stuff like that. Listen, when they created this country, the creation of this country was a grand compromise.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't get all those southern states on board with revolting against England because the southern states were, you know, they were always flourished under English rule. And the only way we were able to get them on board with the idea of, like, and how about instead of them being your boss, you be your own boss, right, was to say, we're not going to fuck with slavery.
Well, from what I understand is that they were okay with that, with the intention of ending slavery at some point.
Well, that's the thing. They knew it was going to happen, but they couldn't. It then wasn't the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? They had to band together then to get rid of England first. But all the founding fathers knew that ending slavery was going to happen eventually, and a lot of them foretold the future. They said it's going to start a war.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the bloodiest war in American history.
Come on.
Like, they knew it was going to happen. It was like I said, the whole thing started out with a grand compromise.
And here we are.
Yeah, and now here we are. So,
I want to hear the veterans' take on patriotism. Like, can you take yourself back in time in your psychic time machine?
Why I joined the military?
No, I want to put you in a specific scenario and tell me your response to it. So, 18-year-old Doug Herty, flown over.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. Definitely not a doctor of not being a doctor. But flown over into another indigenous sandbox, and you're driving a truck to protect our freedoms.
Freedom.
So basically, yeah, you did all that to protect our freedoms, right? Is that what it was?
I never really felt like I was doing it to protect anybody's freedom.
That's what they told you, though, wasn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I guess I had like this deep-seated patriotism
Balls
thing
deep,
going
or
on.
how deep are we talking?
I don't even know if you could say it was like deep, but you know, like we all remember like when the whole like 9/11 thing happened.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody like was all out there like waving their flags and singing songs and all that jazz, and we all like came together like as a nation.
You know, and like even
Right.
yeah.
And then like all these people like signed up in the military because they wanted to fight terrorism.
Go
Woo!
Get those cave dwellers.
But like,
Get 'em down.
I even felt it, I guess, while I was like in basic training and what have you, and the national anthem.
Yeah.
You feel that like sense of patriotism.
That red, white, and blue erection.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess it got to a point to where I was like, what does this really have to do with patriotism?
I like to think that thought didn't occur to you until you were in the middle of like a 170-degree day, sweaty, smoking a cigarette. Like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
I mean, I didn't feel like I was doing it for like to better us as a nation. I went to Iraq with this guy my second time, who was he was in the infantry. His first tour,
Yeah.
like active duty, and then he joined the reserves and drove a truck. Well, he had this like idea the first time he went over that he was doing it for patriotism. He was like a gunner on a Bradley. And he said he killed a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
Right? Like women and children, like the whole 9 yards. Like, and somehow like something like in his brain went like, I don't know, snapped. He just wasn't about that life anymore. He said he wasn't a conscientious objector because he thought that the world needed war, but he didn't think that we should have been in this war.
Yeah.
So on my second deployment, he like about towards the middle, he started like having a lot of hate for us being over there, and he ended up going home on leave, and he like refused to come back because he didn't think we should have been there. They forced him to come back. And once he finally came back, he just sat in his chew. It was like the trailers we lived in, and like ate Oreos and smoked a fuck ton of cigarettes. And they eventually like sent him home on a medical discharge.
Nice.
Because he didn't feel like what we were doing was like bettering the world. He
Right.
saw it for what it was, and that was probably more or less a power play of us going over there and like destabilizing the area.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't understand at the time, I guess, until I came home and I started talking to like people such as Bones, who started waking me up, the horse shit that was really going on.
So
And I guess that's when I started like realizing that it wasn't for patriotism.
Profits are patriotic.
So basically, like at the end of the day, when you're in the shit, saber rattling and flag waving, that kind of patriotism is fleeting.
What do you mean?
It doesn't last long, and it doesn't.
There's
It
reaction.
doesn't help. It doesn't help gird you against reality,
Right.
more or less.
Right.
It was a reactionary measure to the lighting of the pentagram
Yeah.
and the stabilization
So
of two towers.
Basically like a drug, more or less.
I think it's
That
exactly
wakes
like
up.
a drug. And
Versus-
I guess you can see that right now, too. Like, it's like a drug. For one side, people are taking this like a drug, like, and they see patriotism as one thing, and the other side sees patriotism as another thing.
I think the other side is more realistic. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, though: it doesn't make you happy. It makes you mad.
Yeah.
And it makes you like upset. And I think that's why that's the difference. Is you got two different types of people who are wanting to feel pain and wanting to feel anguish and want to feel betrayed by their country, and then the other ones who it's like Soma. And I get totally where you're coming from on that, because sometimes I get those fleeting moments, like during powerful moments where you hear the national anthem and shit, where you feel that like right
a
here.
sense of patriotism. I
Exactly.
guess.
But that's fleeting. You know what I mean?
Right.
It
I feel
doesn't
like at
last
one point in
forever.
time, like we had this idea that we were doing something to better the world, and then people were starting to realize that, wait a minute, this is fucked up.
Why are the Marines guarding the poppy fields?
Right.
Why is there a heroin epidemic now?
Right.
It's crazy. Hopefully we've awoken enough to the fact that when they do another, and I'm not going to get into 9/11, but if there's another event that happens, hopefully we're not pulled back into that bullshit.
What do you mean, like the false sense of
Well, like
security,
nine-
false sense of patriotism? I guess.
9/11 happened, and it was broadcast on television, and they told us exactly who did it immediately. And they had the Patriot Act on the shelf, ready to fucking go. Thousands of pages that just magically spawned up
No problem.
overnight. And they knew that the reaction was going to be blind patriotism. People were going to sign up to rush into another country that didn't have a fucking air force and occupy the dog shit out of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they don't pull that shit again in 2017 or any other time where we can be fooled into like, oh my god, they fucking, insert random chaotic event. Well, thank God we had this 20,000 page document that we were ready to, take away freedoms, but everybody's so blinded by the
Now
dick
people are
rush.
doing the same thing with like this whole banning travel. Like, I don't know, people see it as like protecting our country, woo, and the other side is seeing it as like infringing on someone's rights.
Right.
Which I guess it is, but at the same time,
Is it necessary?
when was it cool to like infringe on people's rights in their country, or in our home country?
Yeah.
Well, there's that old adage, and I think it applies to most when it comes. We talk about rights and our freedoms. Go back to freedom of speech. Is that freedom of speech was never intended to protect the speech you like.
Mm-hmm.
It's there to protect the speech you hate.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the way it is. Like, you have to have opposition. Like, even if I don't agree with you, you have to oppose.
Yeah.
Somebody has to all the
it's
time.
just like the whole John Adams guy. Remember him?
That
Oh.
individual.
Whenever they were putting all of those British soldiers on trial, and they just wanted to fucking hang them.
He fucking represented
He was
those
like, I might
motherfuckers.
not agree with what they're doing, but we're trying to set a precedence here, man.
Yeah, they deserve
Like,
a fair trial.
We want people of our country to have a fair trial, like in the future. So in order to make that happen and to make our country better than one that we are fleeing from, we have to give these people the benefit of the doubt and at least give them a fair trial.
Right.
And he got them fucking exonerated. Did he not?
I don't know.
I think he did. Yeah, he did. He got those motherfuckers, except one. I think there was one that didn't get away. But he got the rest of them out because, like, you came to find out that during the Boston Massacre, they were stationed there. Those troops were there. They had fucking guns. We can't deny that.
Right.
But the mob was fucking baiting them.
Right.
Throwing things at them. And the order supposedly didn't come from the officer in charge to fire. Like, someone in the crowd yelled fire.
Right.
So they fired. You know what I mean? So, and you hit the nail on the head with that one. He knew that a precedence had to be set to create a better world.
Yeah.
A better world where people weren't,
Like, people, like, these days, they've definitely forgotten the face of their fathers.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Badass. Come on.
For real, like, we're trying to set a precedence here and they say, let's make America great again, but you're going against everything that our founding fathers have created for us, like, so it could be, like, one of the best countries in the world.
Right.
For a reason. And not because, like, we had, like, the biggest and baddest army, but because we valued, like, human rights.
Individuals.
And
rights.
individuals. And we're definitely going away from that. Because now it's all about, like...
It's populism.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Like, it's like basically those people who wanted to hang the British soldiers are the ones that are, like, yelling this shit now.
Yeah, and I feel like both sides have descended into a state of mob rule at this point.
It's democracy for you.
What I don't understand is, like, I don't think you can even go back in time to the founders' vision of this country. We've come too far and gone too far away from it. Like, you can't... I see it from both sides with the Muslim ban. Yes, there are people that are trying to get into the country under the guise of a refugee in order to cause destruction.
Sure, yeah.
This is true. But there are also people here that are fucking plants from other governments, sleeper cells, you know? If there wasn't the United States past intervention in other countries, we wouldn't have blowback.
Yeah.
So why don't we just establish a new home base and quit fucking the rest of the world?
Well, I actually heard something the other day from the British Prime Minister Theresa May that sounded right, and that was that, and she was talking in reference to the United States and England.
Yeah.
And that's that perhaps we should stop trying to impose our way of doing things on the rest of the world.
Right.
And let them figure it out for themselves.
Let's stop creating Al-Qaeda, stop creating ISIS.
Yeah.
You can't kill an idea.
Right.
And by trying to kill that idea, you just make that idea stronger. So by us going over there and trying to stomp a mud hole in fucking ISIS, all we're doing is fucking killing some kid's dad, and then what's he gonna do? He's gonna grow up and fucking want to fucking kill us.
We're proving their
we
point.
fucking killed his father.
We're proving their point
Right.
by being there. That's the thing. Like, their whole notion that, like, the West is trying to destroy Islam. We are only, like, giving it strength and credence by doing the things we do.
Right.
Instead of being non-interventionist in that whole situation.
I mean, let's get real. They've been fighting each other for thousands of years.
It's none of our business.
Yeah.
Right. But by us going over there and, like,
intervening
and, like, killing these people, we're just creating more people that hate us. Sure,
Somebody-
people hated us. There's, like, 10 people that hated us, and they all had, like, 5 kids. And then we go in there and we kill all those 10 people, and now that's been, like, it's grown, like, 5-fold now, because, like, all 5 of those kids that each of those 10 people had, now they all hate us, too. And so now you grew from 10 people hating us to fucking 50 people hating us.
If somebody comes over here to take over the fucking things that you have in the ground in your backyard, you know, or somewhere else, and set up a police state in your country with their own rule of law, and they kill your family, flying that flag, you're going to imprint that flag on your head, and you're going to do everything you can to see that fucker burn.
Yeah.
Leave it well enough alone.
Here's the thing, like, what was the old thing before we invaded Iraq? There had never been a suicide bombing?
I'm sure there was sometime, but I don't know.
I mean...
Allahu Akbar.
But it wouldn't be as frequent as it is now.
Oh, yeah. It's not as nearly as
That's the thing,
frequent.
that, like, we brought these people to the point of desperation that they're willing to strap bombs to themselves and fucking blow up their own goddamn people just to fucking send a message.
Exactly.
Like, that's the amount of desperation we've cultivated over there at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. If someone were to roll up in here tomorrow and want to take out Donald Trump because of his oppressive ideas or whatever they say, and they start driving fucking convoys through our town and fucking shooting our fucking cattle and raiding our fucking stores and
Killing
doing
our women,
whatever.
raping our cattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we haven't...
We're gonna be pissed off, man. Like, I don't know about you, but if someone rolls up in, let's say, like, fucking, like, Syria or Iraq or China or whoever, like, rolled up in our country tomorrow and started doing that shit, like...
We're going to be painted up like dead presidents
would we
popping
do?
out of a dumpster.
You don't have a standing chance to fight this or these countries for whatever reason. But the only option you have is
sending
to, like,
messages.
Yeah, don't tell me you wouldn't go out and set up a fucking roadside bomb
No.
to blow up a fucking convoy that just rolled through yesterday and fucking stole all your shit.
You're going to do it.
We haven't known that level of desperate.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give it time.
But, yeah.
If we were to go ahead and end this, what would the parting words of wisdom be from Doctor, not a doctor,
Doug Herty.
Doug
I don't
Herty?
know. I don't have any wisdom.
Let's steal from Tim Ferriss, and I'll ask you one of his questions in parting.
Okay.
If you had access to the most populated highway, you could put up a billboard next to the highway, and everybody would see it. What would it say, or what would it be?
I feel like being put on the spot here.
No, you are. You're in the corner chair. Baby's in the corner.
I don't know, man. I feel like you would have to appease both sides. in
No.
order to get your message.
What would Doug Herty want?
I know that it would have to be something that I want, but it would have to...
What do you shout in your head every time you're in school?
I don't know. It just sounds like voices in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you put on your billboard?
Wake the fuck up.
That mine would probably be nobody gives a shit about your opinion.
Yeah.
Like, see, I mean, that would be mine. Like, I feel like, I'm glad with everybody having a voice, but social media has just brought every idiot to the surface and given them just as much credence as the next person.
I figured it out just because I like chaos and anger. There are only 2 genders.
Boom!
Boom!
Not according to California.
Fuck California. Build that wall around them as they secede. Let's go ahead and end it up. We're at 10 after.
Okay. Well, folks, I'd like to thank you for listening. Check out our Facebook page. Send us topics. We shouldn't have to call to arms every time we need some topics around here.
But I don't mind it.
Thanks, Dustin Waller, for your topic today.
We love you.
Check out our Patreon page.
We're going to share it on the Facebooks.
Yeah. Donate whatever you feel is necessary, and we're glad you're going to be with us when we enter Phase 3.
Or at least take the video, or the link, rather. Take the link and share it on some random page somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just do the footwork. You are our jihad warriors of thought.
Yeah, exactly.
We need you.
Yeah. So, check out Ryan Simpson.
He's a fucking beautiful creature.
Anybody sucked his face recently?
Not yet.
We'd like to thank him for his music, and you guys need to go check it out. But yeah, thanks for listening to the show. Hope you have a good week.
Let us know what you thought about Doug Herty, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right.
Probably a lot of hate there.
We'll see you guys next time.
We love you.
We really do.
I think I've gone crazy 'cause the world is getting dim. I fell in love with the girl, but she says we're just friends. I thought I was a boy, it turns out I'm a man. Gonna get me a canoe, gonna row to Japan. I think I've gone crazy 'cause I don't give a shit whether I crawl or whether I sit, but I'm still rowing, gonna make it someday, gonna be free, gonna be okay. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. The newspaper says everything's alright. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. I think I've gone crazy 'cause it won't stop raining. I've begun to think lately it's 'cause I won't stop complaining. I am a voodoo doll and the world is the pin. I've got a third eye growing out of my chin. I think I've gone crazy 'cause I'm fucking confused. Today I woke up hanging from the same old noose, but